Squash the scum!
In case you are not initiated with me, I don't really collect 6-inch Black Series. I collect the clones, but that's because I collect clones in general. When it comes to normal 6-inch stuff, I'm pretty reserved. I didn't buy Mandalorian. I didn't buy all these others that people were absolutely crazy over. I've sold some figures that were super desirable, and people would be like, oh my gosh, you sold that? Oh my god. But I just don't collect 6-inch. I already have it in 3¼ inch, and some I have in 12-inch. But my brother heavily collects 6-inch Black Series, and he wanted me to pick him up the new Mandalorian Stormtrooper from the latest wave, if I saw it. And I did see it. Unfortunately, I didn't see the Camino Clone Trooper, but I saw the Stormtrooper, so I picked this up for him, and I told him, hey, I'm going to open this up and review it, and maybe see if I might like it enough, because I did keep a fair amount of 6-inch Imperials. I'm probably going to end up selling more, because I'm just not into the 6-inch stuff for Star Wars, man. This scale in Star Wars, they just don't compute for me. So am I going to keep this, and am I going to replace my old Stormtrooper? When I initially opened this thing, I was actually very impressed with it. And I said, yeah, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to get rid of my old Stormtrooper. I'm going to cut down my Black Series, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't mess with it after that night, and I wanted to wait until this review to see if I still had the same feelings for it, and if I still want to replace my old Stormtrooper with this one. Because I'm not going to have two. I'm going to replace it. That's how minimalist I am on Black Series. So one of the most notable things is the new box. After half a decade, they finally changed up the box. And it looks really cool. I like the new art. I think the read-up looks kind of neat. I like that the art, that it's kind of slanted. Kind of reminds me of Transformers boxes. That's probably where they got that inspiration from, because Transformers has been doing that for a little bit now. Yeah, it's cool. Imperial Stormtrooper. I like that there's color to it now. The back looks pretty bland. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. I wish the color of that was also in the back. But you know what? It's alright. Cool box, but still not too big on Black Series boxes. So that's a box. And here we have a Stormtrooper. This is the new Mandalorian Stormtrooper, kind of in the Rogue One styling as well. And let's just get it out of the way. Here it is next to the old Stormtrooper mold that we have known for about 7 years now. And, oh man, I've never liked this old Stormtrooper helmet. It doesn't look right. They just proportionally didn't get it right. And they kept using it and using it and reusing it and reusing it. Even though, and I have to say thrice, even though the very first Stormtrooper figure they made with the Sand Trooper had a perfect helmet mold. And they used that perfect helmet mold with the Shadow Trooper. Like, that helmet is perfect. And they changed it for no reason, and it doesn't look nearly as good. Like, you can even see, like, proportionally, it's so off. But they did give us a new one, and it's a little too small. It looks a little weird. I'm not sure if a normal human head could fit in that, but that's kind of ironic, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, proportionally, besides the helmet looking a little tiny, because the helmets for Stormtroopers were pretty big in the original trilogy, it's proportionally really good otherwise. The arms look good, the body looks pretty good, the legs look good. Then again, the classic one, the original I'm calling it classic, oh my gosh. The original 2013 mold also was proportionally pretty good. It's just it had the pins, because it had the double joints, and we'll definitely compare these joints, for sure, because that's actually a big point of contention and praise with the new one. Yeah, you can see the new one's an improvement. It's definitely an improvement, but the thing that I value most in 6-inch action figures is the feel of them, because, you know, they're fun to pose around and everything. And to me, with Star Wars, the characters, they just don't lend themselves to super dynamic and fun posing. The legs didn't move forward too much without really kind of getting stuff out of the way on the original one. The arms didn't move up enough unless you messed with the shoulder pads. The elbows they were double joints, yes, but they only bent about that far, which isn't too bad. And we'll talk about that, but keep that in mind, the range on that. The knees did bend all the way, but then again, I don't think normal human knees in armor could ever bend that much. That's pretty unnatural, not gonna lie. It's not a pretty natural, length of motion for an armored knee. I mean, try bending your knee. Unless you're very acrobatic, you're not going to get much more than maybe like that. So keep that in mind. But it did feel fun. It did feel fun. And the head was really expressive on the old one. And it had a hinge. You could move it a lot. It's a pretty fun figure, man. It was pretty fun. And I didn't really have too many issues with it besides that pretty weird-looking helmet. But the new one, I mean, there isn't too much to see. It's a Stormtrooper. The new one definitely is also pretty fun feeling. It's got better leg articulation because they actually kind of engineered it so it can kind of tuck under more. The knees, you can see they're only the single joint, but they do bend at a pretty natural stopping point. And I mean, you can still get him kneeling. That's pretty much like the only thing you'd really need the knees for. He can still do that. And his arms are pretty impressive. He only has the single-jointed elbows, but keep in mind, that's how far these go. And keep in mind how far these went. You can see that's about the same. And this one looks a lot better. So it's not all about the quantity. Sometimes it's about the quality. And the head is something where they definitely did something different. I don't think it's as good when it comes to the range as the old one, because the old one was just, I mean, look at it. It's basically just this massive ball that just goes in there, and it's got this massive amount of range. But this new one, it's like the double ball system. And funny enough, remember when I said it looks too small for a human head to go in there? There actually is a head in there that is the sculpt of Tamora Morrison, which is funny. It's really funny. I would take it out, but I'm not worried about it. But I still feel like the helmet's too small. Like you can just see, I feel like it wraps around the head too closely. I think the helmet should have been a little bigger. The helmet looks pretty all right, but because it is a separate piece going over a head, you can see like the lump right there. And I've seen some pretty bad ones that are pretty misshapen. This one's actually pretty good. But the head is kind of creaky. Very small complaint, but like it does kind of, it's weird. I don't know. I don't like creaky joints, but it's no biggie. You're complaining. It's a nitpick. That's not a valid criticism. Yeah, it is a nitpick, you know, but hey, it's a nitpick. I don't like that it's creaky. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, look at this pose. That's a pretty Stormtrooper-y pose, and trying to get the old one to do it. And it still does it. Not as good with the arms, but the new one just looks a lot better, especially with that helmet. It's a little too small, but it's not small enough to like really cause a problem. But one thing I definitely have to talk about. A lot of his other articulation's pretty nice. He has the up and down and the in and out right there. You know, he's got the waist. Oddly enough, that is actually a separate piece, that armor right there. So that's kind of cool. But these shoulder pads and these shoulders are pretty revolutionary. So they do have the butterfly, which is amazing. But the shoulder pads are actually separate from the shoulder, and they allow it to go up pretty much at a natural stopping point. And you may think, oh, that looks kind of ugly, but guess what? These shoulder pads are on their own rotating piece, and you can actually move them with the arm. Look at that. They're on their own, like, rotating disc. Do you kind of see that in there? Look at that. You can see where it's attached in its own separate piece. Absolutely revolutionary. I'm so surprised we haven't really seen that before. I don't know if another company's pulled that off before, but still, that is remarkable. So, is this thing nice? Is this thing worth it? Is this thing good? I'd say yeah. Yeah, man. Am I gonna keep it? Now granted, my brother, like, if he can't get one before I see him again, this will be his. But am I gonna have one of my own? Let's put it that way. I think I might. I think I might just have this, and I might get rid of this. Because it's kind of redundant now. I'm kind of a one-and-done guy for 6-inch. As long as I've got, you know, a Stormtrooper, I'm fine. And this one's pretty great. It's a pretty great fun figure, man. It's not perfect, like I said, but it's still really fun. It only does come with this E11, which is the modified version. That I'm fighting burps right now. I'm so sorry. I haven't talked this much in so long. I haven't filmed videos in like 2 weeks. That just goes to show how I make my videos. I upload them in big batches. He's got like the Rogue One Mandalorian style E11, and he doesn't have a holster because some versions of the Stormtrooper don't. But this is kind of like the standard Stormtrooper gun, as you can see there. So, yep, he does come with that. You know, he can hold it fine, no problem. He can also hold normal Stormtrooper, you know, other weapons perfectly fine. It's no biggie. So yeah, I recommend this thing. Even though I don't really collect 6-inch Black Series, I recommend it. This is the definitive 6-inch Stormtrooper from Hasbro. The model kit's pretty great too. I had that custom one sent in from Black Kiwi, and I'm definitely a fan of that figure. But this one's, I mean, he's just aesthetic. He is aesthetic, and he's great. The paint on mine's pretty good, but I've seen some pretty bad ones, so keep an eye out on that. Actually, when I found this at Target, there was 2 of them there, and the other one looked pretty bad. So bad I couldn't even justify buying it. So yeah, I like it. I hate that I like it, but I like it because I don't want to like 6-inch anymore. I want to be done with it. But hey, this is cool, man. This is cool, and I like it. Will I get other versions of this mold? Maybe. I don't really buy 6-inch troopers if I already have a 3 3/4-inch version anymore, so we'll have to see. But yeah, this is nice. I like it. There we go. There's my review. New 6-inch Black Series. Can't talk anymore. 6-inch Black Series Stormtrooper. It's cool. There you go. That's my review. I hate that I like it, but I like it. Make sure to come, like, and subscribe. Do all that stuff I always say. You know, I'm trying to not say that anymore because I hate being a YouTube shill. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.